Okay.
Yes.
So let me tell you the flow of the session. So first of all, you will get to know your mentor. Then it will be followed by an informative PPT wherein you can note down if you want to note down something. This would be related to your course. Then it will be followed by a virtual tour of the dashboard by Aarti ma'am, and followed by question and answer round where you can put up your doubt and get the answer then and there. Okay, and then your actual demo will begin. Hopefully the flow of the session is clear to each one of you.
All right. Thank you so much, Monica ma'am. So the flow is clear. And so I would like to invite Dr. Usha ma'am. So Dr. Usha ma'am, she is a wonderful mentor, I would say. So this is not just any adjective I'm using, but then she is really very wonderful. And I'm sure you are going to like her classes. She has been associated with Olympiad success for many years now, I would say. And Usha ma'am, why don't you introduce yourself and yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, Aarti, and good evening to all the children out here. And it's so nice to see you, when I see your faces, because as Aarti was telling now, my journey with Olympiad success is almost more than a few years now. And I'm so glad and pleased, to also note that children who were with me in the class 6 batch a few years back, they have done class 6 with me, 7 with me, 8 with me. And there are a group of almost 10 to 12 kids who are in the class 8 batch with me, and they are almost 3 years now with me. So yes, I am Dr. Usha Banerjee, and I like teaching kids, and I like science. And the reason why, I like to teach is that I want you to understand the concepts. It's very, very important. In class 6, you are like at the interjection between junior school and senior school, right? So after this will be senior school. So it's very, very important that you understand all the concepts very well. In class 6, you will have a little bit of physics, a little bit of chemistry, a little bit of biology, and you're preparing for the Olympiads, right? So yes, that is one level above your regular school syllabus. And the best part of Olympiad success when we teach you is that while we prepare you for the Olympiads, automatically you do exceedingly well in your school exams. Because the school exams question will be much simpler than the questions that we do in the class. And once we do the classes, after that, we do all the Olympiad papers with you. In fact, I discuss almost 8 to 10 years papers with all the children, and they are like a revision of the entire syllabus. And by the time I come to the end of the syllabus, most of the children are totally thorough with it, and they themselves can do the papers. So it's very, very important to understand. Science and maths is about understanding. If you try to learn up, it will not work. So my job with you is help you to understand. And for doing that, I give you a lot of examples from practical daily lives, which you can relate to, right? So I'm looking forward to begin the demo class. So I just want to convey it to Aarti, and so that she can take it on from here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Usha ma'am. It's always a pleasure to have you on the platform. And kids like Usha ma'am had mentioned one really important thing, that is about clearing your concepts. Okay, so this is the most important factor, right? If your concepts are clear, then you can, pass any examination. That is what I believe. And since you have, come into the secondary section right now, so you are into grade 6. So this is going to be your foundation class, I would say, for the upcoming years, all right? And so you should really pay attention. And Usha ma'am, as she has already mentioned, she would be really focusing on your concepts clarity. So make sure you learn each and everything, and make sure you ask her as many questions as possible, and she would be happy to answer all of them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Usha ma'am, thank you so much. So now, Monica ma'am, please go ahead with the presentation of the course. Monica ma'am, you are on mute.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So very warm welcome to each one of you to the demo and interaction program for class 6 science batch 2. So as you might already be aware that Olympiad success is India's largest online preparation platform for Olympiad exams. Olympiad Success Live is India's first exclusive live classes for Olympiad's preparation. School Plus by Olympiad Success is one of its own kind of annual program that includes 8 important courses that really matter at this point of time in your life. And these 8 courses include mathematics, English, science, logical reasoning, communication, both spoken and written, Vedic math, and coding. So here you get one-on-one online CBSE, ICSE, IGCSE, and IB classes for grades 2 to 12, one-on-one preparation classes for international mathematics Olympiads like SASMO, CMO, HKIMO, TIMO, Math Counts, US Common Core Math Competition, Math Kangaroo, PRMO. So you can meet our international rank holders for the year 2022-23 and 2021-22. These are all brilliant star performers, and there's so many. So the classes will actually be group sessions with batch size of around 20 students and will be delivered through Zoom by seasoned tutors who have significant teaching experience. You've already met your mentor, Usha ma'am. So you get 3 sessions per week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Timing will be 6:30 p.m. till 7:45 p.m. with 5 minutes of break in between. So the flow of the session would be 35 minutes of class with 5 minutes of break in between, and then followed by again 35 minutes of class. So the sessions would include a mix of theory, practice questions, doubt sessions, and discussion on previous year papers. So you get reading material and practice questions, which will be available on the dashboard of Olympiad Success, for which you will shortly get a tour by Aarti ma'am. So students, you also get free access to Olympiad Success platform so that you can practice topic-wise mock test for both science and reasoning as well as logical reasoning. So syllabus is available at this particular link, and fees can be paid by clicking on this particular link. Don't worry, all the important and relevant links have been pasted in the chat box and will again be pasted for your benefit. The fee for this particular course is rupees 11,151, and it is going to be a 50 session course. Okay, the fee includes online classes, daily reading notes and exercises, practice of previous year papers, as ma'am has already told you, and access to Olympiad Success platform for science and logical reasoning. All that you require for these classes is a laptop or a desktop with good internet speed, with camera because we do not allow students without video in the class, and headphones for better audio clarity. Now, you might already be aware that, preparation for Olympiad exams is slightly tougher than your regular school curriculum. So you need to spend at least 2 hours every day so that you can cope up with the curriculum. And of course, parental support is required at the back end to check answers, reiterate concepts and all, and monitor the progress. So you might already be aware that in 2022-23, Olympiad Success had students from more than 3,850 schools across India and abroad. And these students hailed from 35 plus countries. Now, live classes for this particular batch starts from Friday, April 28, 2023. So hope information is clear. That's all from my side for this PPT. Now I would request Aarti ma'am to take you through a virtual tour of the dashboard of Olympiad Success. All over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Monica ma'am, for a detailed presentation about the course. So kids, I'm sure you would have, heard to her presentation really carefully, because there would be some questions coming up for you all, right? If you don't ask us during the question and answer round. Now, let me share my screen and let us quickly go through the tour of the platform. Okay, kids, so once you enroll to this course, what you have to do is to access the material as mentioned by Monica ma'am. You have to go to the login page of Olympiad Success, and then you have to enter your credentials. You would be provided these credentials by the Olympiad Success team. Okay, so you have to enter the credentials, click on the sign in button, and you would be redirected to the profile page. Okay, make sure your profile is complete, and then you can access the material. So what you have to do is you have to click on the live classes button, and there under the subject list, you can find the subjects for which you have registered. So right now, as you see, I've registered for all these subjects, and these subjects are coming. So this is Science Olympiad. Let me select Science Olympiad. And then let me select any one of the topics. So let's say I select fiber and fabric. So here you can see the reading material, the practice questions and answer keys. So just click on the reading material and a PDF would open up wherein the content related to fiber and fabric would be written. All right. Then similarly, you can open up your practice questions and the answer keys as well to these particular questions for which you have opened. Okay, so what you can do is you have to just mark your questions, mark your answers, and then you can compare your answers with the answer keys provided by Olympiad Success over here. Okay, so here all the answers have been provided. Then we have the schedule. Right, kids. So schedule is really important for you all because, the syllabus link, which I had shared earlier in the chat section, I would be sharing that again. So basically the entire syllabus, it has been structured into different sections, as you notice over here. So we have total 50 sessions in this course, right? And for each session, you can see like in session 1, we would be taking up food and its components. Session 2, session 3, session 4. Okay, so 4 sessions would be covered up by this topic, food and its components. And then there would be a test. Okay, so we make sure that after every topic or two, we do conduct a test so that we know that you guys are really on the same ground as your mentor. Okay, and then as you would notice at the bottom, like our course will get complete in 44 sessions, but then the remaining sessions, as you notice over here, it's super class. Okay, so we have kept these extra classes so that if you have any doubts, like by the end of this course, you can ask in these super classes. And apart from your doubts, there would be lots and lots of practice. So we would be focusing on previous year paper questions. All right, so we would be focusing more on strengthening your practice. Okay, so this is all about the schedule part. And then we have the holiday calendar. So basically on this page, you can see the dates on which the classes will not be conducted. Right, and then finally this Zoom meeting ID and password. So here your meeting ID and password will be displayed. However, you would be getting the same through WhatsApp also. Okay, so you would be getting the details on your WhatsApp as well. Now the next important thing is the worksheets part. So as Monica ma'am had mentioned, you would be getting access to topic-wise worksheets for science and logical reasoning. So what you have to do is you have to just go to the worksheet section, select science or logical reasoning. Okay, so both of these would be available to you. You have to just click on the take exam button, take the examination. So in each of these worksheets, these are topic wise worksheets, right? So in each of these worksheets, there would be 25 questions for you to attempt to. And then finally, you can check your answer keys by going to the performance tab, selecting your subject. So let's say I've not given any science examination right now. So I'll just select comprehensive mathematics, let's say, and then I'll click on the view button to see my answer keys. All right, so kids, that is all about the platform. And don't worry if you have not understood anything in this part, especially the tour of the platform, because once you enroll for this program and in your first session, you would be again explained how you have to access the content. Right now, any questions coming up, kids?
So we have a doubt, ma'am. Could you please tell if it is related to every science Olympiad or NSO?
Yeah, so it is related to all the major science Olympiad examinations held across the country. So it would be SOF, NSO, as you have mentioned, Silver Zone, Crest Olympiads. So it would cover up all the major Olympiads. All right.
Any other doubt? Please feel free to ask. We'll be happy to answer. Just type in the chat box. NCERT syllabus is covered.
Yes, absolutely. It would be covered in CRT syllabus. So basically, our course is a combination of CBSE, ICSE syllabus, and there would be few topics from your higher grade as well. So since these are Olympiad examinations, and Monica ma'am had mentioned during her presentation also, so preparation for Olympiads is a bit tougher, and the reason being that there would be few topics from your higher grades, and yes, we do focus on a combination of CBSE plus ICSE boards.
Any other doubt? Anyone? Please feel free to ask in case of a doubt. Otherwise, Aarti ma'am will ask a question. She's very strict. Can you display the syllabus site?
What I'm doing is I'm just pasting the link in the chat section once again, the syllabus. This is the syllabus link. You have to just click on this and the syllabus page will open up for you. Okay.
Children, stop playing with emojis and reactions. Ask your doubts. This is the time to ask. Payment link. So Sai Anish requires payment link. So I think we can.
Yeah, I'll just share the payment link. Okay. So it's there. All the links are there in the chat section. I'm pasting it again. So the payment link is there in the chat section.
So
Okay.
Arav Sharma is asking, will 24/7 tech support be provided?
So it cannot be 24/7. I believe that you guys too would be sleeping during the night time. Okay. All right. Apart from that, yes, we would be available for you. Okay. You have to just drop your query. Trust us, like your query will get resolved within 24 working hours. Okay.
Any other doubt? Anyone?
No questions coming up. Okay, so let me quickly ask you a few questions. So first question would be, how many sessions are there in this course? Okay, Ratisha is already ready with her answer. And on which days the classes will be conducted and at what time? Days and time. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6:30 to 7:45. So this is 6:30 to 7:45 a.m. or p.m.? You have to be careful with the units as well. Okay, it is p.m. Right. And when are your classes beginning? The live classes are beginning from which date? 28th April. Absolutely. And I think so. That's all. Any other question you guys would want to ask us? You can ask. Otherwise, we can then begin with the demo session. All right, Ratisha, we wish you a very happy birthday in advance. Have a good one. And from 28th, then you can really focus on the course, okay? After celebrating your birthday.
With a refreshed mind. So I think we can begin the demo now.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
All
thank
over
you.
to Usha ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, Aarti and Monica. So we'll begin off the demo class today. So I know all of you are muted, and it gives me a lot of trouble also to see you like this, because normally my classes are extremely interactive and I don't restrict anything. You will be unmuted and you can use the whiteboard along with me. I actually encourage that, because in such classes it's very important for you to come out. And also I would actually also recommend these classes. Why? Because there are some children who are very calm and quiet and they feel shy to ask questions. So when you're in a group like that, if another child asks questions, it might answer your doubt also. So that is one very important aspect of studying in a group like this, where everybody is from different parts of the world, of the country, right? So I will start off. I was just thinking of what to teach you as a demo class, but then I decided on something very, very fundamental. Okay. And whatever we'll do now, surprisingly, it will be useful for not only class 6, but this is also there in class 7, it is there in class 8, it is there in class 9, it is there in class 10. So basically, we'll start off with sorting and separation of material, right? So whenever I start any chapter, I first show you the syllabus which we are going to cover. And as many of you were asking, is it CBSE, NCRT, CBSE, ICSE? It will cover most of the board, the boards also. So I can guarantee that it will cover everything that is taught in school. And as Aarti rightly pointed out, it will be one level high, not only one level, We do small numericals in class 6 also, which actually prepares you for the higher classes, right? Today's class, you don't have to write and take down anything, because I hope that all 12, 13, 14 of you will come back to the class on 28th April, that is next week, and we start off from there, right? So my focus, as I told you before also, to explain the concepts in such a way that I give you practical examples so that you can relate to it. I use a lot of board work. I use the whiteboard a lot. So the students, children who have done classes with me know it, that I use, I do a lot of board work. So first of all, what is matter? Why have I chosen this chapter? Okay, I know all of you are muted, and I apologize for that, but today just listen. So this chapter essentially consists of matter. So what is matter? Everything around you is matter. I am matter, you are matter. I am using an iPad, that's a matter. This bottle of water which I have beside me is matter, right? So matter is anything. Don't have to write anything. I'll repeat all of this in more details when you come to the class. That has mass and occupies volume. And as I told you, you will use these concepts not only in class 6, but in 7, 8, 9. Actually, you will use concepts of mass and volume in mathematics also. You will find out the volume of a sphere or the volume of a cylinder. Science and maths, as you go to senior classes, more or less it's overlapping. So a lot of concepts in science will be used in maths and vice versa. Everybody is comfortable with English, I hope, right? Anybody is, not comfortable in English, just raise your hand. I'll try my best to explain it to you if I know your language. I do that in my class. If I see somebody is having a problem with English, or, need something in Hindi or something, I try to, make you comfortable, right? So matter is anything that has mass and occupies volume. What is mass? What is mass? Anybody? Can you type it in the chat window? What is mass? What do you mean mass? No. Rushank, mass and weight, yeah. Araf, mass and weight are not same. We normally use mass and weight similarly, but then mass and weight is not same. So what is mass and what is weight? So mass is nothing. Yeah, many of you seem surprised, but yes, mass and weight is not same. So mass and weight are totally different concepts. I will explain both of you in little, both of it. So mass is nothing but, so when we say mass of a body, right? So in science, what is mass? Mass is nothing but the amount of matter present in a body or object. In science, we generally use these words very often, body and object. I am a body, not a human body or a dead body. Anything which has matter, mass, is called as a body or a football is an object for me, right? So mass is basically the amount of matter present in a body. So somebody told me mass and weight are same. Absolutely not. What is weight? So weight actually depends upon the planet on which you are in. Weight depends upon gravity, and gravity is a force. So weight has a formula. Weight is equal to mass into acceleration due to gravity. Today I only have 45 minutes for the class. But when we do these things in the real classes, we take a lot of time to explain it to you, right? So suppose I tell you I am fat, right? Can you understand how fat I am? No. As soon as I tell you I'm 75 kilos, you can understand how fat I am, right? Now, if I go to the moon, my weight becomes less. Why? Because acceleration due to gravity on the moon is way lesser than that on the earth. So mass and weight are different. But normally when we talk, regularly when we talk, we assume that mass and weight are same. But in science, and what we are studying now is physics and also chemistry. So as I told you, as we go higher up, there is a lot of overlap between physics, chemistry, biology, and mathematics. You cannot do physics and chemistry without mathematics, and mathematics without physics and chemistry, right? So matter, this chapter comes under both physics and chemistry. So understood that matter, mass, and weight are totally different. But normally when we talk about mass and weight, we generally assume that it is the same. But henceforth, you will realize or you will know that mass is different and weight is different. So what is the difference between mass and weight? So I told you what is mass. Mass is the amount of matter, yes, Ruma, present in a body. On the other hand, weight is a force with which the earth attracts a body correct, Arav, towards itself. Please note that weight is a force. Okay. Mass of a body remains constant wherever you go. Today you're on Earth, tomorrow you're on the moon, day after tomorrow you go to Pluto, mass will remain same. However, weight depends on the acceleration due to gravity on the planet. What is acceleration due to gravity? You've seen movies on, space, right? So we know that in space, astronauts float about. Why do astronauts float? Because there is no gravitational force in space, right? So gravity is the force which helps us remain grounded, which pulls towards the earth. So yes, Ruma, what you wrote is correct. When we go to the moon, mass remains the same, but the weight becomes 1/6 times. So 1/6 lesser than the weight on the earth. And why is it so? Because the acceleration on the moon is 1/6 times the acceleration on the earth, right? Now the unit of mass is kilogram. Many of you, what is the unit of weight? Yes, Kanish, what is the unit of weight? Type in the chat window. What is the unit of weight? Anybody else also? Correct. Very good. So the unit of, excellent Kanish, the unit of weight is a force, right? So the unit is Newton. Newton is the name of a scientist who did a lot of physicist, who did a lot of work in the area of physics. And he was the person who discovered the force of gravity. He sat under an apple tree and looked up, an apple fell on his head. And then he realized, why didn't the apple go upwards? Exactly, Sir Isaac Newton. So the unit of weight, as I told you, weight is a force, and the unit of force is Newton. Clear? So from today onwards, you know that mass and weight are totally different, right? So I gave you a lot of examples about matter, right? An apple is matter, my stylus is matter, your pen is a matter. I can see many of you are sitting on a chair, on a bed, you have a headphone, everything is matter. I can see Arav playing with a coffee mug. The coffee mug is also matter. Can you give me examples of something which is not matter? Something which is not matter, anybody? So can you name two things which is not nothing? There's nothing called nothing in the world, Ruma. Yes, correct. Happiness is not matter. If you're feeling sleepy, that's not matter. Okay, when you laugh, it's not matter. So all your emotions, if you're feeling hungry, that's not matter. And yes, vacuum is also not matter. So vacuum does not have any mass. It does not occupy space. So all our emotions, a rainbow in the sky is not matter. Okay. So anything, so you can think of anything else, all our human emotions. Yeah, all of them are not, anything which does not have mass or does not have volume is not matter. Clear? Now, can you tell me, is air matter? And I will tell you, sorry, prove it. I can see Ritisha jumping up. So yes, I'm just dividing my screen into two parts. So this is a stick or a rod, and I have got two balloons. This is balloon A and balloon B. Balloons filled with air. Now I take a pin, a safety pin, and I prick balloon B. So what happens after some time when I take out the air from, so balloon A is as it is, and balloon B becomes like this. This is step number 1. This is step number 2, and this is balanced here. So the same rod with two balloons, I put a needle into B, balloon B. So what happens? All the air from B has escaped. So you will see that the rod tilts towards the side of the A. So what does it prove? It proves that A is heavier. So this proves that air has mass. So because A is filled up with air and B has no air, right? B has no air. The rod has tilted or become heavier towards A. So this simple experiment proves that air is matter and it occupies space. Okay? Understood? Simple things we'll talk about. Right? You cannot see air, it exerts pressure, Rusham. Very good. So we'll talk about pressure and volume and all of this also. Yet, yes, Ritisha, you can tell about any experiment also. Now, what is space? Okay, we are talking so much about space. Or what is space or what is volume? So volume is nothing but the space occupied by an object. Okay, you can calculate the volume. There are mathematical formulas of area, of volume, which we will do in the class. So as I told you, this is an intersection of physics, chemistry, and mathematics. Right now, I know all of you know most of this. As soon as I ask you, name 3 states of matter, all of you will tell me about solid, about liquid, and about gas. But this is what you normally know till now, right? So we know that why are we studying all this? Because we want to basically be able to sort materials. Why are you all in this class today? Because all of you are in class 6, number 1. All of you are approximately 9-10 years old. All of your mental level is same. That is the reason all of you are in this class. What would happen if I kept one child of class 6, one of class 10, and one of class 11? So what I'm teaching you here, the class 10 child will tell, I know everything, tell me a more difficult thing, right? So therefore, to sort means to group substances. We have to basically group them on the basis of appearance, solubility. If I tell you salt, you take a glass of water and put in a spoon of salt and mix it, the salt will dissolve in water, right? Whether it's a metal or non-metal. Can you give me an example of a non-metal, anybody? Non-metal? Example of non-metal? Plastic, wood, correct. What about, plastic, wood, that's correct. All your gases. So we are breathing oxygen. Oxygen is a non-metal. And we know that, plants, I'll tell you, Arav, just give me some time, I'll come to that. So we know that plants take in carbon dioxide for doing photosynthesis. That is again a non-metal. What is photosynthesis? What is photosynthesis? I'll tell you where it differs from your school, okay? So carbon dioxide reacts with water in the presence of, write this down if you want, sunlight and chlorophyll as catalyst to produce glucose and oxygen. So yes, photosynthesis is a process of preparing food by plants. So this is what you normally know till now. When we do the Olympiad classes, when I teach you about, plants, we will write the equation of photosynthesis also. So I will teach you all of this also, how to write basic chemical equations, because very soon you will be in class 6 and you will know this. You will study chemical equations in class 7. So when we are doing, as I told you in Olympiads, we do, I'll explain what is catalyst. So we do one level higher. So, in this class, tell me, what is my role? Okay, what is my role in this class? I am helping you understand the concepts. Who will write the Olympiad exams? You will. Will I write the Olympiad exams? No. Will I write your school exams? No. So my function is I have to ensure that all of you understand everything. All of you write the exams carefully and all of you do very well in your studies. That is the role of a catalyst. I cannot participate in your exams, but I will help you do the exams well. So what is a catalyst? Write this down. A catalyst is a compound, or I don't know compound, so I'll tell you, is a substance that itself does not participate in a chemical reaction but without the catalyst, the reaction will not begin. I'll give you a simple example. Your mother or your parents are a big catalyst in your life. You have to go to school, you have to study, you have to sit for your exams. Your parents can't do that for you, but your parents are a big catalyst. Your mommy prepares food every day in the morning. She gives you breakfast and she packs your tiffin and she cleans your uniform and your shoes. Your dad takes care of the school fees and everything else, right? So they are the catalyst in your life. Without their help and support, your chemical reaction will not begin. Understood? So that is the role of a catalyst. Without the catalyst, a chemical reaction will not occur. But yes, the catalyst does not take part in a chemical reaction. So your parents cannot go to school for you and sit in your classroom. That will not work. Okay, understood? As I told you, I will give you simple examples which will help you understand things. Right? Understood catalyst? Okay, now till class 10, you will know that the catalyst does not take part in a reaction, right? But when you come to class 11 and 12, you will understand that the catalyst does take part, but what happens at the end of the reaction, the catalyst again comes back to its original form. That you will do in class 11 and 12. Now, somebody asked, so we were doing solids, liquids, and gas. Okay, so these are solids, liquids, and gas. So can you give an direct example of regarding chemical what? Arav, finish the sentence. Chemical what? Reactions. Loads of examples I can give. Loads. Now, catalyst. Yes. Chlorophyll is the best example in daily lives. Now, for Olympiads, when we prepare, when we tell you about states of matter, we have 5 states of matter. Today I have a very short, class with you, but normally in the real classes, this takes more than 2 classes. So we have 5 states of matter. There are a lot of things to understand here. Pay attention. So first is the Bose-Einstein condensate, which is also written as BEC. Bose-Einstein condensate means that it is the coldest state of matter. Okay, normally it's not available. It has to be created in high research laboratories. So normally Bose-Einstein condensate does not occur in real life. In very high-end research facilities or laboratories, Bose-Einstein condensate can be done. Now, Bose-Einstein condensate is named after 2 very famous scientists. One is S.N. Bose, who is an Indian, and second is Albert Einstein. So yes, we have Indian physicists who have actually discovered this state of matter. So you can ask me, I never heard of this. What is this used for? So in today's class, possibly it will not be, I can't tell you details about it. But when we do the actual classes, we will do about what is the temperature of Bose-Einstein condensate, where it is used, etc., etc. Right. Next, coming to the second state, which all of you know, solids. So ice is solid. If you have noticed the picture of solid, in solid, the atoms are tightly packed with one another. Now, what is atom? Right? So basically, an atom is the smallest unit of matter. An atom is indivisible and indestructible. So which means that theoretically you cannot break an atom down. But as I told you, nowadays, science, physics has gone to a very high level. So it is possible to break down an atom into subatomic particles. That's correct, Tara. I was coming to that. So there are subatomic particles possible wherein an atom can be broken. But yes, for class 6 level, an atom is the smallest unit of matter. So every object in the planet is made up of atoms. Now, we breathe oxygen gas, right? So oxygen gas, I think all of you know, is written as O2. What is the meaning of O2? What is this 2? So O2 is nothing but 2 atoms of oxygen, and O is the chemical symbol of oxygen. So 2 atoms of oxygen, and what is this? They exist like this in the natural state. Okay, right? So O2 means 2 atoms of oxygen. So if I write nitrogen as N3, or N2, what does this mean? 2 atoms of nitrogen, right? So as I told you, this is an overlap of physics and chemistry, right? So we'll do all of these in great details in the class. Okay. So in solids, the atoms are tightly bound to each other. In liquids, what happened? The next example is ice, liquid is water, and this is water vapor. In liquids basically take the shape of the container in which they are kept, right? And gases do not have any shape. You can actually compress gases a lot, and they are always in this kind of random motion. Now, the highest, if you see there is an arrow here. So Bose-Einstein condensate is the lowest temperature state of matter, and plasma is the highest state of matter. So plasma, the best example is the sun is it contains plasma. So plasma typically occurs at very high temperatures, and it is nothing but, we have low density ionized gases. What does this word ionized mean? The word ionized comes from ions. And what are ions? They are charged particles. So they have electric charges on them. So they are called ions, right? Now, where is plasma? As I told you, the best example, sun is a, yeah, absolutely correct, Rushang. So at temperatures above 5,500 degrees centigrade, plasma can also be created in laboratories, right? So Bose-Einstein condensate and plasma are two special states of matter which do not exist in our daily lives normally. They have to be created in, what should I say, contained facilities. Whereas solids, liquids, and gases are the most commonly occurring states of matter, right? I'm trying to answer all the questions as I'm seeing in the chat window. Ma'am, I have a machine that produces plasma. Wow, Ara, what machine? Tell me, bhai. What machine? Okay, right? So we'll do all this in lot of details, not like this. This is the trailer to the movie, okay? This movie will go on for minimum 2 classes for us. Okay, it's called a plasma ball machine. Now, I know in everybody's houses, your mother boils water for making tea and coffee, right? So when you're boiling water, what happens? Water converts into water vapor, right? So this is nothing but changing states of matter. Now this state of matter, there is another term which we will use, which is called phase of matter. So water is the liquid phase of matter, PHASE. So water is the liquid phase of matter. Water vapor is the gaseous state of matter, and ice is the solid state of matter. So which means there is a phase change occurring from ice to water vapor. So what is happening? State, yeah, it is called state. It is also called phase. So phase is like, normally in science, we talk about it as phase, right? Phase means when there is a change in the physical appearance. Now, if I become liquid, my phase has changed. Suppose I melt off and become liquid, which means that my phase has changed. So what happens when this change of state or change of phase is happening? So which means that the matter in that particular system is becoming excited. So I'll just show you. You take a bowl here, and this is, say, heat. You keep a bowl of water on the gas at home or your heat at home, right? And you're boiling. So water contains a lot of molecules and atoms like this. So after some time, if you have noticed, the water starts bubbling. And then after some time, I'm just using a different color. So the water vapor comes out like this. So what happens here? So at the surface, when the molecules or the atoms of water start bubbling, the energy level becomes high. So when that energy level becomes high, it escapes as water vapor. So at that particular state, there is a change of phase. So which means that, and where is this energy coming from? The energy is coming from the heat that you produce, that you supply. So when you're heating a bowl of water, the energy of the heat is transferred to the bowl. So from where? So from the energy of heat energy is transferred to the bowl of water, and this is transferred to the water inside. So the flow of energy is like this. So when the water is heated, this is what is given here, just read it. So this is what I told you, the molecules of water become excited, and at a particular point, that particular point also has a name. What is it called? The particular point at which liquid water changes to water vapor? Boiling point of water. And what is it? For water, it is 100 degrees centigrade. Okay. Somebody wrote, I don't still know your names. Rushank wrote evaporation. Now, what is evaporation? Your mother keeps your wet clothes outside for drying, right? What is the difference between evaporation and boiling? So here I have evaporation, and here both is water converting into water vapor. And this is also water converting to water vapor. So what is the difference? No external, no additional heating is required. So when your mother dries out clothes, does she put a gas underneath? No, it's not needed. But for boiling, additional heat is needed. If you keep a glass of water outside in the sun, it will never boil. Why? Because the boiling point temperature has to be reached. Here, no such temperature is needed. Understood, Rusham? Difference between boiling and evaporation. So evaporation basically is a surface phenomena, whereas boiling happens all throughout the substance or the liquid. Clear? So clear difference between boiling and evaporation. Understood? Any doubts still here? Okay, I'm just, giving you some time so that you tell me if there are any doubts and all that, right? Okay. Done? Okay. Very good. Right. Now, as I told you now, in Olympiad success, we are not about class 6. We are about, we little bit, we go a higher level. So I told you phase. What is phase? Phase describes the physical state, exactly like state. But in physics, we talk about phase. And the word phase comes from physical. Sorry. So solid state or solid phase, liquid phase, and then we have gaseous phase, right? So if you notice one thing, I'm just zooming this picture. So here somewhere will be Bose-Einstein condensate. And this will be Bose-Einstein condensate. If you give energy, it will form solid, and then so at every level you see energy is being added. So we have solid state, liquid state, gaseous state, and plasma. So which means energy means you know about heat, but the other sources of energy. Can you name other sources of energy, anybody? What are the other sources of energy? No answers. Food, very good. Light, very good. What else? Wind, excellent. What else? Other sources of energy? Heat, yes, heat we know. Heat is the solar, very good. Geo, water, excellent, excellent. And you know what? Even sound is also a form of energy. Hydro, very good. Sea waves is called tidal energy, which dams, work on tidal energy, right? So yes, energy is a very, very important concept, and we'll study energy in class 9. So what happens when phase changes happen? So from solid, so this is important. What is freezing point? The temperature at which solid phase changes to liquid phase. I'm writing here. So temperature at which solid phase changes to liquid. What is boiling point? Again, temperature at which liquid changes to gaseous phase. Okay. So what is the boiling point of water? So boiling point of water is 100 degrees centigrade, and the freezing point of water is 0 degrees centigrade. So the ice, when you keep water in your freezer, in your fridge, what you are doing is actually you're trying to reduce the temperature, lower. If you keep a glass of water outside, can you ever get ice? Impossible. Why? because you have to reduce the temperature of water so that the freezing point is reached. And at that particular freezing point, the phase change will happen. Now there is a lot of things in phase change. I don't want to scare you, but this is the graph for phase change. So I'll explain all of this in class. Okay. So, and now you know only boiling and evaporation. Actually, these are all the phase changes happening. Fusion or melting is when solid changes to a liquid. Freezing is when liquid to a solid. Okay, then we have vaporization, liquid to gas, condensation. So I will just show you one thing. So suppose this is gas. There is a slide. I will show you that. 1 second. Look at this diagram. So we will study each and every phase change which is given here. So we will do vaporization in details, condensation, freezing, sublimation. Can you tell me an example of an object with sublimes or compound or material with sublimes? Camphor, very good. Camphor is also called karpoor in Hindi. White color used in puja, right? Naphthalene ball, correct. Naphthalene also is a white colored substance. It works as an insect repellent. So your mom possibly stores your woolens and your expensive clothes with naphthalene balls, commonly called no Rushang, wood does not sublime. Unfortunately, wood does not sublime. Okay, so sublimation means that solid will directly convert into gaseous phase. This is sublimation, and the reverse is called decomposition. A very, very beautiful sublimable substance is iodine. Iodine is violet color crystals. Looks exactly like sugar, but is violet in color. And the beauty of iodine is that iodine, when you melt it, it directly converts into iodine vapor. If you cool the vapor, you will get iodine crystals. So we'll study all of this in the class in details, okay? Not shortcut like this, right? Any questions till here? Any doubts? Okay. Rushank has said. And in the classes, you don't have to be on mute and you can write also on the whiteboard along with me. I appreciate that. So that is not an issue, okay? Today is just a demo, so you're unmuted. We are doing starch test. Oh, that's great. So very good. So you're using iodine for doing the starch test. That's correct. Now this is one, diagram which has almost everything of chemistry in it. So when in the classes, we will do what is atom, what is matter, what is atom, what is molecule, what is a mixture, what is a pure substance, what is a compound, what is an element, homogeneous mixture, heterogeneous mixture. The best example is all of you have Cadbury gems, right? Heterogeneous mixture, red gems, blue gems, green gems. So you can see the different gems with your naked eye. And homogeneous mixture is a cup of coffee. So coffee has milk, water, sugar, coffee powder. Once you've mixed it, if I tell you, take out the milk for me, can you do it? No. So coffee is the simple example of homogeneous mixture. Compound, definitely I'll need more time because compound is a chemical compound. So I have to talk about atoms and molecules here. Oh, great. Ritisha. Most of the time, we'll do whatever you do in school only. So that will be really good. Right? Okay. We normally have a lot of, these are examples of pure substances and mixtures. Okay. Now we'll talk about solutions also. I take a glass of water. I add 1 spoon of sugar to it and I mix it well. The sugar dissolves. So that is a solution. So typically the solvent is the liquid part. I am telling you typically, not always. The solute is the solid part. Can you tell me a solution in which both are solids? Think. Both of the components are solids. Do you know alloy? Very good, Kanish. Alloy is nothing but homogeneous mixture of two or more solids. So actually it is a solution in which all the components are solids. Similarly, air is a mixture of homogeneous mixture of gases. The air that we breathe, can you tell in your room which is oxygen, which is nitrogen? No, it is all homogeneous. So we'll give you a lot of examples, from your real life only. Now we'll talk about solubility. Now solubility has a huge practical application. Because oxygen is soluble in water, I will give you a heterogeneous mixture. Example is a mixture of salt and sugar. Rice and dal, heterogeneous mixture. Water and oil, heterogeneous mixture. Petrol and water. Coconut oil and water. Then what else? Alcohol and oil, heterogeneous mixture. Now the biggest, beauty of nature is that because oxygen dissolves in water or oxygen is soluble in water, yes, Ritisha, oil and water never mix, so they form a heterogeneous mixture. And oil is, that there is a difference in densities also. What is density? Mass by volume. So density is mass by volume. So everything has a numerical mathematical formula which we will study in class, right? So as I was telling, the biggest advantage of dissolved oxygen in water is that fishes can breathe the dissolved oxygen which is present in ponds, rivers, lakes, streams. Not only fishes, all your aquatic marine life. And because of this, all our marine life is thriving in seas and water bodies. But if you throw, empty chips packet and, dead organic matter, if you pollute the water, what happens? The level of dissolved oxygen in the water decreases and therefore fish die. Sometimes you see in the newspaper, it comes and lots of fishes have died. That is because of water pollution. Miscible and immiscible liquids. So what you were saying, liquids which completely dissolve in each other are called miscible liquids, and liquids which do not dissolve in each other are called immiscible liquids, right? So we'll do all of this in great details. Actually, whatever we have covered today now, it normally takes around 4 to 5 classes. Water and oil are immiscible. We'll talk about transparent, translucent, and opaque. Transparent means you can see through and through, for example, a sheet of plastic. Correct. So transparent means light passes through and through. Translucent example is typically butter paper. So it's you cannot see completely. And yes, we are opaque. Thankfully, we are opaque, right? Otherwise, everybody could see through our bodies. Yeah. So opaque means light does not pass through such substances. We'll talk about physical properties of matter and why do we need physical properties? Because in this chapter, we'll also study of how to sort matter. Sort matter means group matter into categories. So as soon as I say, can you name 2 objects which are, say, whatever, shiny? Can you name 2 objects which are shiny? Anybody? So gold jewelry, even your steel spoon at home, even that is shiny. And the property of shine is called luster. And when we say objects have, so gold is lustrous. So the verb is lustrous. So will diamond, yes. Diamond is nothing but diamond is carbon. And diamond, when it is pulled out from the mine, has absolutely no shine. But then the piece of diamond is cut. And it is cut in such a way that light reflects through it properly. And that gives the shine. Okay. So diamond is nothing but carbon. And what is carbon? Can you give me another form of carbon? Coal. Coal is also carbon, and carbon is a unique element. Somebody wrote a question in the chat window. What about rubies? Rubies are also chemical compounds. All of these are chemical compounds actually, right? So just, I don't have much time. I have to end the class at 5. So we'll talk about how, materials can be separated. What is buoyancy? Why does a ship float in water, whereas an iron nail? No, diamonds are not made of crystals, Rusham. Diamond is carbon, nothing but pure form of carbon. And the same carbon which coal is also. But then carbon has unique properties. It can exist as shiny diamond, black coal, and slippery graphite. And graphite, what is graphite? Graphite is your pencil lead. All these are forms of carbon. So we'll study about buoyancy. So when you're in a swimming pool, you can float. That is buoyancy. And in the end of the class, we will also do a lot of things here. We will also solve questions from the previous Olympiads, as I told you. So this is how we do the class. This was a demo class. I only had 40 minutes or 45 minutes. But yeah, normally this chapter takes 5 to 6 classes. So I just have 1 more minute. If any of you have any particular question, feel free to write it in the chat window. I'll answer. Any questions, any doubts? So once you enroll for the classes, how to use the portal and all that will be shared with you. Yes, Rihas, no doubt, no. How was the class? Did you understand? Was it boring? Felt sleepy? Arav is eating his pen for dinner today. Arav, how is the pen? Nice, tasty? उसके ऊपर थोड़ा सा नमक डाल दो और अच्छा लगेगा. Right? So anyway, I have to stop here. Thank you so much for being so attentive and listening to me. I know it's difficult. I can't be on mute. If somebody mutes me, I will, fall sick. Yes, what is your name? Yeah, Paran, right? Yeah. You have to type your question in the chat window. I can't unmute you here. So I have to stop the class now. The time is over. So I hope to see you, most of you, all of you actually in the class on 28th April. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. If you have more doubts, contact the Olympiad Success Support team and they will answer all your questions. Right? Thank you so much, everybody, and goodbye.